Hello, this is Illogical Projects. This is the third episode of the 300ZX Z31 build series. Today I'm going to do final engine block preparation, install the cylinder heads, and install anything else I can while I have daylight. Stay tuned. Before I start, I would like to make a correction. The NA engine uses a different driver's side exhaust manifold compared to the turbo engine. The turbo engine has the exit move forward a little bit to make space for the turbo, and the flange uses a standard T3 flange, while the NA engine uses a proprietary 3-bolt flange. The passenger side and the crossover tube is still identical for both the NA engine and the turbo engine. I'm still going to replace the exhaust manifolds as it doesn't flow well for NA engine, and the stock manifolds is also cracked along the end. The down pipe is also completely fractured. So even if I don't have to replace it for performance reasons, I'm still going to replace it because of noise and and because it's directing engine exhaust fumes down the under the hood, which is getting annoying. It's one of the first things I'll replace, along with the really tiny air filter. The second thing I want to mention is that the next 3 videos are going to be recorded ahead of time. Basically, I just set up the camera and just let it shoot without checking the footage. So there might be some video issues. I apologize for the if it's too dark or if there's if it's blurry. I was time constrained at the time, and so basically at this time the car's already running and it's running very well. But I just started editing all the footage. So if there's any recording issues, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, so due to time constraints, I won't be able to replace the crankshaft seal, but also because I need to buy new parts from Nissan dealership, and I don't have time for that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the timing belt tensioner stud. That is very important and also very overlooked. It's known to snap on these engines. So how you want to replace them is to use a pipe wrench and just pop it out, and then screw the new one in, and with Loctite, of course, and just tighten it until it's snug. It's kind of like tightening a spark plug. You don't want to over tighten it. So yeah, let me get that timing belt tensioner replaced. Stud replaced. Okay, so got the new tensioner stud. Bought it from dealership, real cheap. I think it's around $5. That's with shipping. And I got a Loctite, and I got a vice grips. And yeah, I'm going to just start taking the old tensioner out. It's one of those things that's way too loose to use like a power tool or something. Use a tool, but it's too tight to use by hand. But there we go. Got it out. Looks actually in decent condition. Here's two studs. This is the new one, this is the old one. Yeah, it actually looks in pretty decent condition, but I'm still gonna replace it. It's not bad compared to the rest of the engine, that is. Okay. Let's verify which side is which. Okay, so I'm just going to clean the surface with brake clean and then screw the new one back in. So next, I'm gonna replace the oil filter. Currently I have, because I don't really trust the engine oil in this right now, and right now it has a Fram filter. Don't use Frams on this engine because they're known to using a Fram oil filter along with this engine is known to cause oil pressure issues. So I have a Napa filter, also Wix filter, depending if you care about branding or not. But I have a Wix filter, and I'm gonna use that for my engine break-in. So let me just grab engine oil and then replace it. Okay, got the new filter screwed in. Check. I'm gonna take the camera off the mounts again. But the reason why I want to replace the oil filter now is that the oil filter is easily accessible while the cylinder heads are removed. But once the heads are on, it'll be really difficult to replace, so I might as well replace it now. But I'm still going to do oil change after the first, because I'm going to be breaking the engine, so there'll be multiple oil changes. Next is to clean the prep the block for the new cylinder head. Excuse me, rebuilt cylinder heads. Also off camera, I've replaced the gasket on the center pipe that goes to the needle core. I replaced both gaskets. Although accidentally spilled some gasket maker all over the strut tower and the wiring and the hosing. Oh well, time to clean up the surface for the other block cylinder head. Okay, so I have wiped down the surface with brake clean, and I have sprayed out the holes for the head bolts with compressed air. And now I'm just going to do some final cleaning before I get the cylinder head installed. Okay, so for some reason the new head bolts did not come with a washers for them. So luckily I saved the old head bolts with the washers along with them. So I'm going to be reusing them for the when reinstalling the head bolts. Always remember, use new head bolts whenever and new head gaskets whenever you take out the cylinder head. I'm going to lubricate the cylinder walls and probably install. Okay, cylinder head is installed. It's really heavy, really annoying. Don't recommend doing it at one person, especially with the AC compressor in the way. But I like AC, so anyway, head gasket's already on. I just need to lightly bolt up the cylinder head and then get the other cylinder head on. Okay, So I got the cylinder head installed off camera. Well, I got it lightly bolted on. Just hand tying all the head bolts. Yeah, installing it was painful. And make sure that you lubricate the head bolts, both the head bolts and the washer that it rides on, because so that when you torque it down, you won't have any false readings from the friction of the bolt rubbing against the head. So make sure you lubricate the bolts before installing them. Also, off camera, I also installed the exhaust downpipe. That was really painful. I didn't even get it tighten it. And I'm not really willing to tighten it. Fuck it, it's fine. I'm just gonna get the other head installed. Okay, so I got the other cylinder head installed. It's looking like an engine now. Anyway, that was heavy. I'm going to install the head bolts, lightly tying it. The reason why I'm lightly tying them is just in case I have to remove the heads again. I can just unbolt it without worrying about already stretching out the head bolts. Okay, let's continue. Running out of daylight. I think I might end it soon.
Going to get there and hope we will meet there.
Okay, I got the other cylinder head installed. So, last thing I'll do is install the cross-section exhaust pipe there before end of day. It's almost getting night. It's 10 o'clock right now. Luckily, we have long daylights here in Alaska, but I hate to do this, but I think I have to take off the exhaust manifolds off camera because the crossover pipe won't even budge. It's really annoying. Let's see what I can do. Okay, so I got the crossover pipe installed. Yeah, I got it installed, except for I just need to bolt it up, and I loosen the exhaust manifold down there, and the the center water pipe. I have to reinstall those, but I was out of time. So I'm going to end today's episode as this. Off camera, I will screw back on the head covers. I'm going to reinstall the exhaust pipe system and the cover, and probably I'll just drop this guy in there on top. There's a lot of projects. I got shit to do. Okay, so this is a few days later. I'm recording using a different microphone setup. I'm using a earbuds. Clip-on earbuds microphone instead of using the cell phone internal microphone. I'm hoping that'll get rid of the auto gain control along with other issues and hopefully make it sound better in general. Anyway, I got the crankshaft sprocket out. I got around to it, and I got the rear plate out of the crank, but I had to bend it a little bit, and that wasn't fun. And I hammered it back, so I'm hoping it's kind of true-ish and won't mangle the belt. Anyway, I'm gonna replace the crankshaft seal. So you want to get a pick set. This is really important. Makes life a lot easier. You don't have to deal with wood screws. You don't have to use like a flat screwdriver. You don't have to worry about scrap marring up the surface. It's only like 15 to 20 bucks depending on if it's on sale or not. And you have other uses besides replacing cam seals. And besides, it's like a pick set, so you could use it to replace O-rings on other equipment and things. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm using this pick here. It's it's at an angle, and I use this to pull out the cam seal. What you have to do is you have to dig in behind the cam seal and pop it out. Crank seal, I mean. So let's do that. Okay, so I got the crankshaft seal out. I had to use more invasive methods, more destructive methods to take it out. I'm hoping it didn't scratch up the crank surface too much, because if you scratch up the machine surfaces while we're trying to remove the crank seal, it can cause potential oil leaks. So here's the new seal, and it's a lot more pliable once you get it out. Can I be bad at opening bags? Okay, so here's a new seal, and here's compared to old seal. And one thing right off the bat is the new seal is more malleable and softer. And the benefit of, and not only it makes it easier to remove and replace in the future, but it also keeps it from leaking oil, because it can form to the surface of the crankshaft and to the mating surfaces. Normally, if it's a good seal, what you do is just get a pick set, and then you just hook it on the lip and just pop it out. And that's if you replace. That's when the seal gets replaced every 60,000 to 120,000 miles. This guy, I think this is original, which is around 300,000 miles. And this one is not happy. I had to dig into it with a screwdriver and really pull it out. Wasn't happy at all. So I was gonna grab the tools to install it and show you how to install it. Okay, so to install it, what you need is first clean it up with brake clean surface. You don't want any debris inside. Just give it a quick spray. Okay, give it a quick spray. You need a I recommend getting an axle nut set. I got it. I think a 33 millimeter fits perfectly onto the onto this. And before you hammer it in, I recommend either getting assembly lube or engine oil, and I recommend lubricating the seal before installing it. This is to promote seal life and make it easier to install. So I just quick rub with a finger, just rub it around, give it a little bit of lubrication. Go. Mix. Nice. So I just simply put it in. And then get the axle nut set. And I recommend a dead blow. Makes life easier. And step it in gently. Want to tap in evenly. Make sure it's flush, but don't be careful not tapping too hard inside, because although I'm not entirely sure, there's a possibility you could get the seal to get stuck inside the oil pump. That'll be bad. Sticking out a little bit. Firmware taps in this corner here. Okay, it's completely flush. And there you go, that's how you replace the oil seal. So as I said, the camera battery died, but anyway, what I'm trying to show is that the crank seal is flush against the oil pump here. I can see it's completely flush. And So anyway, you just have to after that you just basically put the crank sprocket plate back on. Shoot. Damn it. Anyway, put the rear sprocket plate back on and put the crank sprocket back on, and then you're good to go. God damn it. It's not even the first time either. Got all over the alternator. Anyway, I'm gonna put the tightening of the cylinder head bolts along with the final engine assembly in the next episode. By the time you see this episode, the engine will be probably running. This is Logical Projects signing off. That wasn't intentional. Really wasn't intentional. Oh well.